The wind howled through the empty fields of Vermont. An old red barn stood alone under a gray sky, its paint faded, its doors barely holding against the storm. Inside, Tom Henderson, a farmer in his late 50s, sat on a hay bale, staring at a pile of unpaid bills. The Henderson farm had been in his family for 4 generations, but this winter might be its last. The crops had failed, the tractors were old, and the only animal left of real value was his horse, Liberty, a proud chestnut Morgan. Liberty was more than just a horse. He was the symbol of the Henderson family's history, strong, loyal, and resilient. But now Liberty was sick, very sick. He coughed weakly, trembling as he tried to stand. His once shiny coat was dull, and his eyes, once full of fire, were fading.
Don't you go now, boy. You're all I've got left.
The Morgan horse had always been special in Vermont, strong, compact, and full of heart. They were the horses that built New England. Tom's great-grandfather had bought the first Henderson Morgan in 1890. Those horses had plowed fields, pulled wagons, even carried soldiers during wartime. Liberty was the last descendant of that bloodline. He wasn't just a horse, he was family. Tom remembered when Liberty was born, a cold spring morning 20 years ago. The foal had stood up within minutes, his coat glowing like bronze under the sunrise. Tom's father had smiled and said,
"That's the kind of horse that carries a man through hell and back."
Now, decades later, Liberty lay weak on the barn floor, barely able to lift his head. The local vet, Dr. Walker, arrived the next morning. After examining Liberty, her face grew heavy.
It's pneumonia. His lungs are weak. And at his age, it's a fight he might not win.
There has to be something we can do.
Dr. Walker handed him a list of medicines and treatments, but when Tom looked at the prices, his stomach dropped.
I can't afford all this.
She hesitated, then said quietly,
Sometimes love is all they need, Tom. Keep him warm, keep him close. He'll feel it.
Remember that race in '09, boy? When you outran every horse in the county fair? You're still that horse, Liberty. You still got it in you. This land raised us, and Liberty, he's part of it. If he goes, the farm goes too.
One morning, after a long night of coughing fits, Liberty stopped breathing. Tom panicked, shouting his name, rubbing his neck, doing anything to keep him awake. For a moment, it seemed hopeless. He pressed his forehead against Liberty's and whispered through tears,
If you leave me, there's nothing left, old friend. Please, just one more fight.
And then, faintly, a breath, a weak, trembling breath. Liberty was still alive.
He's eating again. He's fighting.
3 weeks later, something miraculous happened.
If you can stand, you can walk.
News of Liberty's recovery spread through the small town. People started visiting the Henderson farm again. Old neighbors brought hay and feed. The local paper even ran a story titled, "The Miracle Morgan That Refused to Die."
You can't buy a miracle.
But something else happened. Inspired by the story, local farmers started donating supplies to help Tom rebuild. A community fundraiser paid off part of his debt. The Henderson farm, once dying, was alive again, and it all began with one sick horse who refused to give up. Spring returned to Vermont. The fields were green again, the barn had new paint, and Liberty, now old but strong, grazed peacefully in the sunlight.
I thought he was gone.
You brought life back here, old friend.